Hi everyone, I'm Zara Marie. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to concentrate on a perfect foundation. So foundation, blusher, bronzer, contouring, highlighting, everything like that. I kind of went through a bit of it from my last video, which is the perfect eyeliner, but I really wanted to concentrate on this today because a lot of people do foundation different ways and I have a lot of tips to give you all, so I hope you enjoy it. Before I start off, just want to say a huge thank you for everybody for sharing my video and your lovely comments. I had some great feedback on it, so thank you very much and I hope you enjoy this one. Right, so we're gonna start, as I said, doing the foundation. As you can see, I've already done my makeup, well, my eye makeup, so I've done my eyebrows, my eyeliner. So let me just go through briefly what I did for that and what I use. So I started off with the Urban Decay Eye Primer Potion. This is the one that I was talking about in my last video. Really great product to use even if you're going to just do a little bit of eye makeup. It just will hold everything on and stop your eyelid from going greasy. Second thing was, again, ABC Gum from Urban Decay. This is just a light base colour that you can put all over your lids, and it'll just help to neutralise all over the eye. And you know, if you're going to do a full eye makeup, it helps everything blend very nicely. Third thing is, again, the Urban Decay Liquid Eyeliner in Perversion. That one's a really good one too, but I think they've actually repackaged it and changed the formula a little bit, but it's still really good one, so have a look out for that one. For my mascara, I've used the Hypnose Precious Cells. This is from Lancome, and this one will help to also condition your eyelashes along with lengthening and thickening, all sorts. So that's really great. For my brows, I've used the Dior Pencil in Black, which is the 093, and that comes with the brush on one end and then sort of the powdery pencil on the other side. And then, of course, last but not least, I have used my Shuuemura eyelash colours, which are amazing. So everybody do watch out for this one here. Right, so I'm going to start off, of course, with my corrector and concealer. Before I do that, I just want to explain a little bit about foundation. As you can see, I have done my eye makeup. It is not necessary to do your foundation before you do any eye makeup, because if you think about it realistically, if you're especially going to do sort of like a full eye makeup with a lot of eyeshadows, if you do your full foundation and then you pop your eyeshadow on, and if anything falls, it can make the under of the eye look very dark, and then you're going to have to wipe that off and start it again. And as well, you're always sort of touching your face when you're doing your eye makeup, so you don't want to ruin the foundation. As long as you be careful, you won't interfere with the makeup that you've done previously anyway, so it's up to you whether you want to do a foundation or with not. Completely up to you. So as I said, I'm going to start off with the corrector and concealer. So this one here is the corrector. This is the Peach Corrector from Bobbi Brown. Now, the difference between the corrector and concealer is the corrector basically counteracts the pigment underneath the eye. And as you can see, I've got quite a dark pigment just around here, but this is all my natural pigment. So if I put the foundation, well, if I put my concealer on top of that, it's just going to look very ashy and very fake. So you need something to counteract the pigment first. So I'm going to start off using my concealer blending brush. This is from Bobbi Brown. This is a really great one. So start off taking a little bit from the pot. And then I'm just going to apply it on the area where I've got that darkness. So just from the inner corners. And then coming out towards the middle of the eye. But as I said, not all the way through. So you use the brush to actually apply it on, not to actually spread it. What you want to do to spread it is actually use your finger, take it and tap it down. You don't want to pull on your eye because it's a very uncomfortable feeling, and also it'll shift the product, so you want it to stay on for as long as it possibly can. So just pat it down. A corrector is really great as well for any women who suffer from pigmentation, sometimes on the cheek, anywhere on the face. Do look up for going to find a corrector, because that will counteract the pigment on the skin as well. Alright, and the other side as well. So just in the inner corners here. You can see the difference between that side and that side. This side's a lot darker than here. So get right by the lash line as well. just like that, and then you pat it on. Right, so you can see the difference. It's much brighter now. My eyes are a lot more popped out, but obviously now we want to get the eyes to the natural colour again. So we're going to go on to the concealer. This one here is the foundation stick from Bobbi Brown. This is Warm Natural in my colour. This one's really handy for in your bag. You can use it for practically anything. You can use it for a foundation, you can use it for a concealer. But I'm going to use it for my under eye concealer today. So just take a little bit from the top onto my finger like that, and then press it in between the two, because you don't want too much concealer. You don't want to build up too much underneath the eyes because it is a very sensitive part of the face. So just going to take a little bit and then pat it straight on until it completely disappears. And as you can see, I'm not interfering with any of the makeup that I have on previously, like my eyeliner. Just be careful where you apply it, that's all. There we go. So you can see the under eye is completely concealed. It's nice and bright, and that's what you want. Now, next thing we're going to go on to is the foundation. I'm actually going to use two different foundation brushes because it's probably the two brushes that a lot of people tend to use. So the first one I'm going to use is the 190 from MAC. This is a flat brush. This is actually the one that majority of people have. I wouldn't necessarily say it's my first choice, but it is still a very good brush. And then the second one I'm going to use, which is my favorite one, it's the 187 from MAC. And this one is my little badger brush that I love so much. Really great for buffing in the foundation. But as I said, I'll use both of them so I can show you exactly how to use them the best way. So I'm going to go for my favorite again, the Luminous foundation from Bobbi Brown. Again, this is in my colour, which is number 4, Natural. So we're going to use a little bit of that. Take a small amount just on the side of your hand, and watch out for your foundation. Don't put too much on, because you know you can always build it up. Rather, if you need some more, you can get some more. You don't want to waste it and have to throw it away. So I'm just going to take a small amount on the side of my hand, just like that. And we're going to start off with this flat foundation brush. Okay, so with most women, what we have is we have very fine hairs that sit on our face. Whether you can see it or not, it is there. So when you use your hands and you sort of just go all around your face like that, what happens is you're sort of pushing some of your hair to the side. Some of the foundation sets underneath, some of it sets on the top, and that's when you start to find that your foundation will start to fade throughout the day because it fades away at different times. So when you're doing your foundation, make sure that you are doing it all in one direction. It will look so much nicer. You won't have any streaks, you won't have any unevenness at all, and it'll just sit on really nicely. So take the flat brush, go onto the foundation and just coat one side, just a small amount, just like that. And then we're going to avoid the eyes, we're going to just do the rest of the face. So what you want to do is you want to go downwards. So stroke down like that, as I said, because the hair sits downwards. And just take a small amount. As I said, you can build it up. Then use one finger, not two, not three, because you'll get the streaks. Just one finger very lightly and just softly blend that into the skin. Now the warmth of your hands will really help to set the foundation on nicely, so that is a good way to pop it on. So just blend that on really nice and softly. As you can see, I'm always going downwards until you can see that it's all blended through. As you can see, it's got a lovely glow. The Luminous one has a gorgeous glow, which I love. Alright, so we're going to go on next to my little badger brush, my 187. So the way you want to do this is just take your brush and dab it into, very lightly dab it into the foundation. And then press it onto the skin. And then you do circular buffing motions first, and then you finish by going down so it sets on the same way. So go like that, buff it in. And this is really quick and easy, so don't convince yourself that foundation is difficult to do in the morning. It's very quick and easy. As long as you're using the right things and the right tools, then you'll find that is a breeze. And then, as I said, finish by going downwards all over the face. So by the forehead, by the cheeks, go downwards. By the nose, go downwards. And just make sure there's no streaks between your neck and your face. Now this is something very important. When you're choosing a foundation, what a lot of women will tend to do is go slightly warmer because they want to have a warmer skin. Because when you do it like this, what automatically happens is the foundation takes away all the natural warmth from the skin. So you ultimately think, oh my god, I'm really, really pale. But don't worry, what you want to have is that it all matches down to your neck. And then to bring back the warmth, just use a bronzer, blushes, everything like that. So make sure that you've got the right colour, otherwise you'll have that horrible, horrible streak down your neck, and that's something that you don't want at all. Alright, so you can see it's lovely, glowy, it's even all over. It just makes you have a really nice, healthy look, and you can see everything is blended nicely down to my neck. Next thing we're going to do, I'm just going to show you this concealer here. This is the Urban Decay 24/7 concealer. This is great if you have those very, very stubborn spots that always sort of shine through red. This one is quite a strong concealer. It stays on for the whole day, hence 24/7. Just take a little bit anywhere you have a little bit of a mark or a spot or a pigmentation, and that will take it away for the whole entire day, and it'll make sure that it stays on. So I normally do my concealer after my foundation, and I just dab it on and make sure it blends in really well. So next thing, very, very important, you have to have a setting powder. A lot of women don't tend to use a setting powder because they forget or they don't realize that it's important. This one here is Warm Natural. This is a sheer press powder from Bobbi Brown, so it doesn't have much of a color. It's just literally to take away any shine and to make sure that everything's set down throughout the day so it lasts for the whole entire day. So just take a little bit. For people who have slightly more of a drier complexion, you don't have to do a setting powder all over. Maybe just do it on the T-zone where you feel maybe you get a little bit shiny, or areas where you feel like the foundation tends to come off first. But for myself, because I've got very combination to oily skin, I'm going to pretty much put it all over. So I'm going to dab it on first. A setting powder is so, so important, especially if you're going to use any sort of other powdered products like bronzers and blushes, because if you think about it, because it's a wet consistency, if you put a bronzer or your blusher after your foundation, what happens is it just sticks on and nothing blends through, so everything looks very, very artificial. And as you can see, what it'll do is it'll take away any excess sort of greasiness or shine, but it'll keep that lovely glow in the skin. And then I'm just going to take a tiny bit on my 224 brush, and I'm just going to do it underneath the eyes as well so that the concealer doesn't crease. So just make sure that it's not creased, and then blend it underneath the eye. There we go, and that will stay in place as well. So that's the setting powder done. You can put that aside. Now we're going to go on to a little bit of contouring with a bit of bronzer. So I've got this one again from Bobbi Brown. This one is Golden Light. It's just a matte bronzer, but really, really lovely. So I'm going to use, first I'm going to start with the contouring. So as you can see with my main thing about myself is, like, I don't have a strong cheekbone. I've got a lot of cheek, but I don't have any cheekbone. So I want to almost make a cheekbone for myself. But you want to do it in a natural way, so when you have it, when you're out and about on a normal day, you can't see the sort of dark brown lines everywhere because it looks really, really artificial. So I'm just going to take this brush here. This one is my 130 from MAC. It's like my baby badger brush, as you can see, Mummy and Baby. And this one here, I'm going to start by sort of taking it right in the outer corners, just by my ear. And then I'm almost going to pull a slight fish face. And then I'm going to find that line where my cheekbones start. And then I'm going to just softly draw a line through there. So at first, when you see it first, it's quite strong, but I will buff that down so you can't really see it. So you can see it just creates a little bit more of a stronger line on that side. So as I said, just by your ear again. And then take it through the cheekbone. So you can see automatically it gives a little bit of a structure there. Now I'm just going to take again, my bigger brush, and I'm just going to buff that in so it sort of just gives more of a faint line. Okay, and then I'm going to go back to my 224. This is for people who want to make their nose look a little bit more streamlined, a little bit slimmer. So just going to take a little bit back into that bronzer again. And as I said, make sure you're blending it well because you do not want it to have that distinctive brown line all over your nose. So just take it from just here, where the eye is, right the inner corner of the eye, and then you want to go downwards. And that will streamline your nose all the way down into the inner corners over here, just here and just here. I've got nose piercing there, so it's a bit difficult. And that will just shape the nose a little bit more. And then just dust off any excess from the brush and literally blend it in. So you can see it streamlines the nose a little bit more. And then I'm going to take my big fluffy brush, just any fluffy brush, and I'm just going to do my bronzer as per normal. So I'm going to take a little bit, go over the forehead, down the sides of the face, and you just want to do this nice and lightly, a little bit over the nose, just so this side looks more natural as well. Down the cheeks, and you'll see that I'm always going to go downwards with my brush, same thing with the hairs. A little bit on the chin, just a tiny bit, and make sure you're doing it on the neck because this is the one area that we don't tend to tan at all. So you just want to make sure that that bit is slightly warmer too. If you want to sort of strengthen your jawline a little bit, you can just take a little bit more bronzer and pop it along your actual jawline. And that will just help to give more of a structure. So you can see I've done all that contouring, but it's just very natural and you can't see sort of any of the lines or anything, and that's how you want it to be. We're going to go on to the blusher. So this one is Coral Blusher from Bobbi Brown. It's a nice shimmery peachy tone. Now with blusher, a lot of people will either do that or they'll sort of smile or anything. Smiling is the best way to do it. When you smile, automatically you can see you get the apples of your cheeks. This is your highest point, so it's automatically going to lift your face when you put the blusher there. If you do it any lower, what will happen is it will bring you down like a hush puppy. So make sure that you're smiling, give your biggest grin, and then do your blusher. So take some on the brush. This brush is my blusher 129 from MAC. So take a little bit of that, literally smile, give your biggest grin, and then get it right on the apples of the cheeks. Obviously you want that to be nice and blend it out as well. So we're going to go back to this brush here, and I'm going to take a little bit of the Bobbi Brown Shimmer Brick in Nectar. It's very light. It looks quite striking when you actually see it, but it goes on very softly. So I'm just going to take my brush and buff it into that a little bit, and then I'm just going to buff it out into my face. Now, if you're doing your blusher and you do mess up, which is very, very easy to do, especially if you've got a dark room, just take your flat brush, or you can take this brush, completely up to you, and go back to your foundation stick, take a little bit, and then blend it on instead of trying to rub it all off, because that will completely mess it up and it'll make your cheeks very red after that as well. Just literally blend a little bit on and it will tone it down completely. Now we're going to go to the highlighter. This is the last part of the foundation. This one here is Champagne Quartz. This is from Bobbi Brown again, but it's actually just an eyeshadow. But I love this for highlighting. I'm going to use my angled brush. This one is the contouring one from MAC. I'm not sure what number it is. Oh, 168 from MAC. And this one's really great for doing any sort of highlighting. So this is just going to give a really, really nice glow. As I said, I love my glow. So this is going to give a lovely glow by the cheeks and really lift everything up. So I'm going to take a little bit of it and I'm going to just go by my cheekbone, the top of my cheekbone. And this will help to soften out the blusher as well. And above my eyebrow. and this will give a lovely lift to the skin without being sort of super glittery. You can see automatically the difference between the two sides. It has a lovely, lovely brightness to it. Same thing on the other side, blend that through. As you can see, I've got a little bit underneath my eyebrows as well. And just to streamline the nose a little bit more, take it down the nose, a little bit on the chin. And that will help to streamline the nose completely. Okay, and then if you wanted, you can take a little bit right in the inner corners of the eyes. So you can take it just along here, and that will just brighten up the eyes just here. But that's completely up to you if you want to have more of a brightness and an opening around there. You can see that just helps to brighten up over there. So that is my completed foundation look. As you've seen, we've gone through a little bit of contouring, more of a natural contouring. Foundation, again, completely depends on yourself, whether you like a matte look, a sort of subtle glow, a really nice glow. Completely up to you. So I hope you enjoyed that. If you've got any questions or any comments, please do leave them or contact me and I'll help you out with all of that. Thank you very much, and I will see you soon. Bye!